It was just 30 years ago that 160 schools were invited to Kansas City to discuss the opportunity to grow together, share best practices, and understand how they could improve their business programs. And through that operation, those 160 schools, we've grown now to over 1,200 members in over 60 countries on all 6 populated continents throughout the world. And we're really excited at the strides that we've made to connect our schools, whether it's a school in Latin America, a school in India, a school in Canada, a school in Europe. They all have one thing in common, and that's to serve their students, and that's why we exist. ACBSP 30 years, it's been a really great ride.
It was the only organization around, really, to bring schools together, because we were all working for the same thing, to make it a great organization so we could do better jobs in our colleges. When you're connected with the business world, you grow. How can you teach students about the business world if you've never been in it? Anytime you can get people in the same thing together and interchange ideas, everybody's going to grow. As faculty grows and they get ideas from other schools, they can bring them back to their schools, and the students are bound to benefit.
I'm the proud daughter of Jim Baumhoff, who was one of the original people that kind of worked to get ACBSP going. I remember when he would come home and talk about the meetings he had with Andrew Stevenson and John Green about this new organization, ACBSP, and he was very excited. What he saw was going to be, the most important thing was this was going to be the first accrediting option for 2-year colleges and community colleges. He saw this was going to be a good way to link member 2-year and 4-year schools to working together off of the same standards, which would make it easier for credits to be transferred, and then also have a better appreciation for each other's curriculum and make sure that they were streamlined curriculum. He also saw it, and maybe most importantly, it's going to be an opportunity for faculty members and even college administrators to network at a regional and national level and provide lots of opportunities for professional development. And then over time, he saw that it was going to provide opportunities for the schools to become better known on their own campuses because of the self-study and having to work together all the information. I think sometimes he saw some administrators didn't really understand what they had in their business programs, and this process really enabled them to have deeper conversations.
I became involved with ACBSP actually before it was ACBSP. I was hired by the Board of Regents at Northwest Missouri State University as the Dean of the College of Business in 1984. And they wanted someone who could grow the programs in business as well as improve the quality. I was very familiar with AA accreditation at that time because that's all there was. I spent the first year there in that position doing a full study following the AA standards and criteria, and learned early on that the business programs at Northwest Missouri State University was not a good fit. In 1986, a man by the name of John Green, who was a retired president of Washburn University, invited several deans to come to Kansas City and explore whether or not a new organization was viable. And the majority of the deans that represented schools like Northwest that wasn't fitting with AA. And so we thought a new organization would be successful. And so I was part of that first group in 1986 before we were even named at that point.
My fondest memory of ACBSP is really hard for me. One of them, without a doubt, is the year that I was the president of the board of directors at the Baltimore conference. It was an amazing experience to be the leader of a group of professors across the world teaching business programs and to be able to call them friends and to be able to look out across the audience at the gala and see almost 1,000 people there that share a love of business students and business programs and business schools and wanting to see our students succeed and willing to work together to see that it happens so that we have wonderful business leaders in the future. When I was president was the year that Region 10, the South Asia region, was inaugurated with ACBSP, and because I was president, I was asked to attend their event in India. And so through that experience, I had a chance to travel to a part of the world that I would never have had a chance to do, and to meet such wonderful people, and to get to see a region get started that has now grown so tremendously, and it's just an exciting part of my memories.
You know, many of the people I met at ACBSP are more like family to me. They started as friends, they became a family, and I long to see them when I go to the national conference. The other things I got from ACBSP is all the professional development. I feel like I grew as a person and as a professional, as a faculty member teaching in a business program, just by going to the conferences, attending the sessions, you know, going to the trainings, becoming a SAT evaluator, ending up in the associate degree commission as a commissioner. All those things are things that I learned. I would have learned all this if I wasn't part of the organization.
I actually enjoy all my interactions with ACBSP. I've enjoyed every conference, I've enjoyed my sessions, I enjoy the conversations that I have outside the sessions. I mean, there is still a lot of learning that occurs while, you know, when we're having coffee and talking, and the exchanges that occur and things other faculty are doing in other colleges. It's kind of weird, but it's still kind of like a family kind of. I'm quite bonded with ACBSP, and being in Kansas City, I also enjoy the few visits that I made to the head office.
I love being an ACBSP member because really for two reasons. It enriches my life professionally and also personally. Professionally because as I have become more involved with ACBSP, both at conferences and serving on boards and committees, I have gotten to know colleagues from across the country, from across the world. Of course, that's been professionally enriching because we all share the same goal of improving business education at our institutions, improving the quality of our programs, interacting with them, listening to the kinds of issues they're facing. They tend to not be very different from the types of challenges that we're facing. It's personally enriching because I've formed some friendships with people across the organization, and of course that makes it all the more fun.
The board of directors and the two boards of commission, the associate degree board of commission and the back grad degree board of commissioners, met together at a retreat to try to study how we could improve those standards and criteria and make a difference. I was an evaluator for Baldrige, and so I knew the Baldrige standards, and I thought, wow, you know, this is just a great opportunity. So I impromptuly introduced, I got up on the chalkboard and kind of outlined the framework of the Baldrige. And the board of directors and the two boards of commissioners really liked that idea. So that's when they appointed Ann Smith and John Eber and myself as the chair to write that new set of standards. And today that's what we follow. So it's, you know, that's really what I can point to as probably my greatest impact to this organization.
I really have a lot of people to thank for my involvement with ACBSP. The first person would be Randy Nutter, and Randy was our mentor when we began thinking about ACBSP accreditation. And he really demonstrated to me the importance of accreditation and how that would make us better. Two other individuals are really significant, and that's Paul Stum and Anthony Nick-Benabord. I was sitting at a Region 3 meeting in the summer, and they walked over to me and asked me would I consider being secretary for the region. I thought, well, if these folks want me to serve, sure, I'll do this. So I became secretary, then that led to being, as we called it in those days, president-elect and then president. Doing that then put me on some national committees and regional committees too, but some national committees. I began doing site visits. I mentored schools. I chaired some of those site visit teams. Then I got into the marketing committee, the strategic planning committee, the risk assessment committee, the nominating committee, and then the search committee to select our now current CEO, Jeff Alderman. All of these committees and others that I've served on were such a joy and very professionally enriching. But probably the one I most enjoyed was the board of directors. I took over as chair when Andy Saucedo passed away. I finished his term, then had my term, and currently I'm the immediate past chair. And that's given me a great opportunity to work with some of the finest people I know and some tremendously gifted people. But I also enjoyed this. This allowed me to connect with the professional staff and spend time at headquarters talking to those people, and we really are blessed to have such a great staff.
ACBSP has brought quite a bit of value to our institution. We have a long history with ACBSP. We were first accredited in 1992, and then we've had several commissioners and we've had past national presidents, and so it's always been embedded in all of our programs. The big value that I see that's come from it is it's helped our division to be an institutional leader. We are always the first to implement anything related to new programs or to new ideas with assessment or value-added opportunities. And I think that is because what we do with ACBSP is all about value-added and bringing our programs to the next level.
Points of student learning outcomes is embedded in our standards and criteria. We took the Baldrige criteria of continuous improvement and seamlessly integrated them into our standards. And the reason we did that is because everything you do in higher education is focused about the learner, the student. We want students to be successful both in and out of the classroom. So what better way to demonstrate that students are learning than to measure how well they are completing and satisfying the student learning outcomes that have been identified by faculty for each program of study.
ACBSP accreditation is extremely important for several people. First of all, it's extremely important for students. Now, students and their parents can know that the student is getting a quality education. It's important to the faculty, get involved in the regionals as well as on the national level, and they meet their counterparts and become good friends and can share things. And remember, what we're all about is continuous improvement. So when they come to those meetings, they get ideas from other people on how they can improve. ACBSP is at the forefront of identifying what future business leaders need to know. As a result of that, our curriculum has become more global. It has a global focus to it. There is now a need for people who just want a certificate. And we are at the forefront now of developing. The AGB right now is in the process of writing a set of standards and criteria so that we can accredit those certificate programs. Probably the greatest change that I have seen in ACBSP over the years is their global growth. When we first got started back in 1986, I don't think there was anybody in that group who had any thinking beyond the 48 contiguous states. We had no idea that it would go beyond that. And today, we're worldwide. That is really, to me, one of the greatest changes that I've seen.
What really has been helpful and really the cornerstone of what we do is our members. Our members work on a peer-to-peer network basis, and without their leadership and the time that they've given out of their busy schedules, we wouldn't be the prestigious and venerable organization that we are today. So from the bottom of our heart at the home office, on behalf of the board of directors as well as my office of president and CEO, we want to thank you, the member, for your support of this organization. We couldn't have done it without you.
From the School of Business at British Columbia Institute of Technology in Burnaby, British Columbia,
Happy 30th anniversary, ACBSP!
I am Dr. Wilfredo Giraldo, Director of the Quality Business Institute at San Martín de Porres University Business School in Lima, Peru, and Director of Latin American Operations for ACBSP. Happy 30th anniversary, ACBSP.
Good morning, everyone. This is Alex Lalou, the President of the American University of Leadership, Rabat, Morocco, also ACBSP Region 8 Chair. I'm really excited to wish you all a happy 30th anniversary with all the success for ACBSP and the members. Happy anniversary.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Kovac. I'm the Associate Dean of Global Education Programs at Master School of Management. Happy 30th anniversary, ACBSP.
Hello, I'm Patty. I'm ACBSP Chinese Operations Director. Happy ACBSP 30 years anniversary.